Hi everyone, just a quick tank update. Thought it was about time I did another one. It's been a little while now, so just a quick look at things, and you can see how things are growing. And compared to the last video, been quite a lot of growth on the SPS since last time. Still getting some pretty impressive growth on the stags and things. And you know, things like millipora. I love millipora because it's a long polyp extension. You can't beat it for that. And I've got a red planet in there that's sort of a bit hidden behind the stag. I'm going to break that branch off at some point and give it a bit more room, but that seems to be doing quite well. But seeing some pretty good base out on corals, some nice coloration. The lights are pretty white at the minute, so things aren't quite popping as they do under the blues, but it looks pretty impressive still, I think. A few bits of LPS added to the tank, so the Acanthophilia is a new one. Welsophilia I had before, not sure if that was in the last video or not. I had that in the nano tank upstairs, but it went up there for a little while, and I'm gradually moving my LPS that are upstairs back down into this tank and filling up the sand bed with the acans and things that I've got upstairs again, and then we're going to go in a different direction slightly with the other tank. New trachea down at the bottom there. I've been fragging quite a lot of coral, so I don't think you can really tell. It seemed to sort of heal back over pretty quickly, but down in the Monty there, my red that I've placed in the green to try and see if I can get them to merge in together and get the colours to blend. That's not really working very well. The red's kind of growing on top of the green and it doesn't really care. Neither of them are stinging each other, so I don't suppose it's such a problem, but wasn't quite the plan. I guess maybe we'll see what happens when they meet at the growth edge. We might see a slightly different reaction then. Strawberry shortcake. I'd use that for fragging a little bit actually, but it's colouring up quite nicely. You can't really see it that well on the video. We'll take a look around the other side. Duncan's I've moved down to the end here. The Torque coral, I've got quite a nice growth tips and coloration on that. Setosa down at the end. We've filled out really well this end now. My purple Monty's growing great. I've got that another Torque there, which is growing lovely. It's filled in really nicely. All the fish are going to get fed. And again down this end I want to just get a little bit more. I might add an extra couple of pieces of rock just to get a bit of extra SPS down in this area maybe. Just doesn't look quite as well filled out as the other end. Down underneath, a little bit of a change. Added a frag rack down at the bottom there. When I say a frag rack, it's a 2 foot long piece of egg crate and a radion underneath there. And the plan is to, rather than have a frag rack in the main display tank, try and grow the frags down in the sump. I do need to add a power head, that's going in later on today. And later on this week I'm going to make a bit of a change. Skimmer's staying where it is. I'm going to add a algae reactor, one of the ALR, probably the 2. I don't think I'll fit the 3 through the gap between the top of the sump and the cabinet. Unfortunately that was a bit of an oversight when we designed the aquarium. Fitting large equipment into a bit of a challenge, but yeah, the plan is to put the algae reactor in straight off of a DC 2500, back that off a little and go through the algae reactor with some Cheeto into my phosphate reactor with the Roaphos, and then onto the UV from there. And I'm hoping to hard plumb that in with PVC pipe, solvent rod pipe, as much as I can, just to avoid any you know, floppy pipes and Jubilee clips. I've got no Jubilee clips down under the water line, but on the phosphate reactor there's a couple of Jubilees that need replacing for something else, and rather than let something else go rusty or try and rely on cable ties or something, I thought it would be a good idea to put some new hose tails on and hard plumb that onto this algae reactor, and hopefully tidy it up just a little bit more. We're going to leave the 220 NIOS Quantum at the back there soldering on, awesome skimmers they are. I've had that now since I set the tank up, and well, that's a day's skim in there right now, so it's a brilliant piece of kit. Not had any issues with that thing at all. Yeah, a few new fish. We've got, there's the new pencil wrasse. Where is he? There he is. This guy, he's rather nice. The Solorensis wrasse, that one's new since the last video. I have added a 8-line wrasse, however he's only been in there about 48 hours, and he comes out for frozen food, but that's all he's really interested in at the minute. I guess maybe in a week or so's time he'll be a little bit more confident. Just feeding their TMC NutriShot. You can just stick them onto the glass. I like those. Usually give them one of those a day, or sometimes the Vitalis grazers on the suction cup, they're good as well, but everybody seems to like these TMC NutriShots. The larger fish and things tend to jump in and bite the chunks off, and everybody else, the antheas and things, will pick up the fine dust, so that's quite cool. And I guess the corals get a little bit as well, maybe, if there's any left. There's quite a few fish there, so I don't think they see much of that. Yeah, so I'll leave it there, but I'll probably try and do a video when I'm putting in the ALR reactor, just to show that going on and getting set up, and then we can do an update later on how well that's doing and how well the Cheeto's grown, and I'll probably do some tests before and after as well, just so we can actually see what that Cheeto reactor's doing, because I think a lot of people would probably like to know, is it actually going to remove as much nutrient as I'd like it to. I've got a few friends that are running them, customers that are running them, and they all seem to get on with them really well, so it's about time I gave one a go on my own tank. Should be a good idea, because then we won't be getting the algae on the glass in the sump and things, and what with the frags under there, it'd be nice to just keep the nutrients nice and low and not have overspill of red light into the next section with the frags. Okay, so thanks very much, and I'll do another video hopefully later this week. Thanks.